Hey everybody! I'm here today to talk to you about 8 crucial and critical tips for using the GE Universal Remote Control. This is a GE Universal Remote Control that I recently got to use for the media devices in my basement sort of family room area because I have multiple devices that I want to control at one time, and I got this one right here. It's absolutely awesome in so many ways, but these are 8 crucial tips for using it, okay? Let's get right into the video. I'm going to go through these quickly, so stay tuned, take notes, and sort of use these tips on your own remote. If you have a GE Universal Remote like this, or really they apply to any Universal Remote Control for the most part. So let's get into this. Number 1 is explore the buttons. You want to learn what all of the buttons do, so take your time and explore all of the buttons before you actually start using it. Learn it, read the instruction manual before you start using it, and learn all about these buttons because there's lots of buttons to choose from. Number 2, learn the proper way to program it. Now, the key to a universal remote and using it effectively is programming it to each individual device. So learn the proper way to program it before you actually try and program it. Learn the right way to program it so that you can program it for all of the capabilities for that specific device, for each device that you want to program it with. Tip number 3, don't program it to stuff that you never use. I'm going to tell you right now, this is totally a dad thing to do. Okay, you get a new toy and you like maximize the toy. So when I first got this, I wanted to program it to everything. I wanted to use all 6. And I started programming it to stuff that literally I never use. Like I programmed it to a device that I'm literally never use. And I was like, it's a waste, right? I know you want to program it because you have the ability to do up to 6 or however many on your remote control devices, right? But don't do it to stuff you never use because it's just going to be a waste. It overcomplicates things. You might get an interference of a signal. So just don't do it with stuff you never use. Even as tempting as it might be, especially if you're a dad like myself, just don't do it, you know? If you ever need to use that thing rarely, just get the regular remote. If you use it like once a month, just get the regular remote. It's probably not worth it to program it to this. So that's number 3. Don't program it to stuff you basically never use for the most part. Tip number 4 is make sure you have the right batteries. Now this one takes 2 AAA batteries, as you can see right here. Make sure you have the right batteries for the remote. It would suck for you to get the remote, you get home, you're ready to use it, and then you don't have the right batteries. Trust me, I've been there, done that. You don't want to do that with any device for the most part. Tip number 5, learn how it interacts with each device. There are so many buttons on this remote, and essentially each button, some of the buttons even have multiple purposes. So right here, as you can see, the volume up over here, it also says DVR list. So like there's different purposes for each button. You want to know how each button interacts with each device. So take your time and learn how each button will interact with each device because that'll help you out, and that's number 5. Number 6 is don't forget to press the device button before pressing the control of what you want to do with the device. So there's no point in just pressing volume up or volume down, because if you're on the TV option, then it's going to go volume up and down on the TV, but maybe you want to do it with your sound bar. So you're going to have to press auxiliary if that's what you have it programmed to. Okay, there is a master volume control that you can set up and stuff like that, but that's just one example. Make sure that you press whatever device you want to deal with, then the control. So if I wanted to deal with my DVR, I would press DVR, and then I would fast forward, rewind, play, record, stop, pause, blah, blah, blah. So press the device and then the control, okay? And that's number 6. Number 7 is make sure that it's compatible with your TV and your devices before getting it. You can see the list of codes online, so take a look and make sure it's compatible with your brand of TV. Now, luckily for you, these GE Universal remotes are literally compatible with, like, the list of codes is insane. So many brands on there I haven't even heard of. So like they have all of the popular brands, and then they have all of these random one-off brands. So, you know, you should be okay, but just make sure that it's compatible before you get it, or else you might be stuck with a remote that you can't use, or you're gonna have to return it, whatever the case is. Last but not least is tip number 8, which is get used to holding it to avoid dropping it. Now, I saw on a podcast, I don't remember who it was, so I can't give credit to the person, unfortunately, but they said they don't have a case on their phone. It was on Joe Rogan podcast, and they said they don't have a case. I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson Jr., I think that's his name, Neil deGrasse Tyson, the scientist guy. And he said he doesn't have, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on this, but he doesn't have a case on his phone because he just practices using his phone, you know, like this, so he knows how to hold it so he won't drop it. Kind of do the same thing with the remote. Just practice holding it, moving it around. It's very lightweight, so it's very hard to drop this, to be honest with you. And even if you drop it, it's so lightweight that, like, it's probably not going to cause any damage to the remote or anything you drop it on. But practice holding it, get a feel for it so you can avoid dropping it. it. That's my last tip for this video. And that's it. Those are 8 crucial tips for using the GE Universal Remote Control. If you like this video sort of explanation slash tutorial slash demonstration, please be sure to give it a nice big awesomely healthy thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.